Instant best friend. I was dead asleep, dreaming of what my future holds when I get the phone call. It was 5:45 in the morning. With crusties in my eyes and a frog in my throat, I answered the phone. "Hello?" I said. My eyes grew bigger and I became as wide awake as anyone could get. I tell the person on the phone, "I'll be right there." I jump right out of bed. No time to take a shower. I brushed my teeth and hair, put on a different t-shirt and leggings, and ran out of the house to my car. I was on my way to the hospital, and I was excited. Now that sounds a little weird, but wait until I tell you why I was going to the hospital. I drove as fast as I could, going 5 miles per hour over the speed limit, so I would not get pulled over. 20 minutes later, I made it. I walked through the hospital doors and met my family, already waiting. Well, everyone except my sister and brother-in-law. They were about to have a baby. I was going to be an aunt. I had been waiting for this day for 8 months and 2 weeks. Finally, on April 15th of 2019, my niece, Riley, was born. But getting to that part took a very long time. I arrived at the hospital at 6:10 in the morning. Little did I know, I would be waiting for what felt like all of my life. Who knew these things went on for so long? The first hour, I was wide awake with adrenaline. I was ready to see this baby, as I'm sure my sister was too. My mom finally got to go back with my sister around 7:30 because my sister was asking for her. Now, it was just my dad, my little sister, and me. In the second hour, I started to get a little sleepy, but I was willing to stay awake because I did not want to miss seeing my niece. While my family sat in the waiting chairs, I began to pace around. During this time, I realized how impatient I really am. It had only been 2 hours, and I'm already getting anxious. I'm anxious for multiple reasons. I want to see my niece, and 2, I want my sister to be okay. I've heard of some women not doing well while giving birth, so I prayed that my sister would be okay. On to hour number 3. Now I begin to crash. Finally sitting back down, I fall asleep. I did not dream, nor move at all while I'm asleep. I find that I am in one of those periods of sleep where you can still hear everything going on, which thankfully I was, because I heard my mom come back. I had so many questions that I started to just ramble them all off. She laughed at me and said, "Hold on, one question at a time, please." I took a deep breath and I asked her the first question. "Is she here yet?" I did not get the answer I wanted, which was disappointing. This means more waiting. My second question is, "How is my sister doing?" This answer was a grateful one to hear. My sister was doing well considering the conditions. She was in a lot of pain, but nothing life-threatening. At this point, I was starting to get mad. How long can it really take for the baby to come? I got my answer. For my sister, it took 5 hours. When my mom came back through those doors, she looked like an angel with her smile plastered to her face. At that moment, I knew she was here. But was I actually ready? Would I have room to love another person? What if she doesn't like me? I stopped short of the door that would lead me to a new part of life. I looked at my dad with a worried face, and he knew exactly what I was thinking. He patted my head and pushed me through the door. Instantly, I saw the smallest human who was very red and crying. All my worries left me. Of course I would have room to love another person. She took my heart the moment I looked at her. I also wasn't worried she wouldn't like me anymore. I also knew that she and I would be instant best friends. I saw the future flash before my eyes, taking her for ice cream, going mini golf, taking her to the playground. All this I looked forward to. I especially looked forward to spoiling her, which is why I left the room and went to the gift shop. I bought her a bear and my sister some flowers. When I got back, my sister asked if I wanted to hold her. I was really unsure. She is so tiny that I did not want to squish her or make her cry. And what about supporting her head? What if I mess up? I had all these thoughts in my head, so I said no. My sister rolled her eyes and said, "Sit down. Put your arm on the armrest of the couch. You're going to hold her." My dad brought her over to me. I was extremely nervous. He laid her little body in my arms. She opened her eyes for a split second and fell right asleep in my arms. At that moment, everything was perfect. I had my instant best friend, my forever friend.